Are you going through something very difficult in your life right now? Maybe you're stuck in a rut and you need a way to get out. Here to help you get your life back on track is Lisa Bien. She's the author of a new self-help book called Life Happens, Bounce Back, and she's here with us now. Welcome, Lisa.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here today.
Well, it's wonderful. So, Life Happens, Bounce Back. You had some difficulties, some challenges early on in your life. Do you care to share it with us?
Oh, sure. Very early on in my life, my parents were divorced, and I just remember feeling there was this conscious, a subconscious feeling in my head all the time I wasn't good enough. So I struggled with low self-esteem throughout my life. And then one day I said, I've had enough. Just had enough of this low self-esteem, and I needed to really do some soul searching and figure out how am I going to fix this.
And you know, lots of women, particularly men too, but lots of women suffer from low self-esteem, and they really need some kind of tool like this book. So firstly, what is BOUNCE? I know it's an acronym, so what does it mean?
You know what, for me, I just remember I would call one of my friends and I would say, oh, this happened to me, or that happened to me, and she'd say to me, I'm really sorry, that this keeps happening to you, and I'd say, don't worry about it. You know me, I'm going to bounce back. So, and I got the name of the title for the book because I'm a big sports girl, and I was listening to a baseball player one day, and they were interviewing him, and he said, life happens. And I was like, that's it, life happens, bounce back. So, and it's true, life does happen. We all suffer from low self-esteem at different times, whether or not we're all willing to admit it. I'm like the poster child of saying, yes, I did, but there's a way back, and there's a way to raise your self-esteem and feel really good about yourself.
And oftentimes, and we may, like you said, it may not happen, may not happen all the time, it may not be prevalent in every aspect of our life, but there may be one incident that happens that really kind of makes us feel small or insignificant or less than. And oftentimes it's because we're comparing ourselves to other people.
Oh my God, there's so much of that happening every day. We all sit there and say, well, if I just, if I could look like her, or if I could have that job or drive that car. It's not about what's on the outside, it's all about what's on the inside.
And that's really the focus of your book, to really talk about the inner, bringing out the inner and focusing on what's inside. So how do people do that? Give us one suggestion.
Well,
because we could spend the whole
we could spend the whole show.
Right.
I say to go on a journey and really find out who you are. Really sit down and write your qualities. How many people do that? How many people sit down and sit there and write 10 qualities that they love about themselves? Not often, right?
Not often.
So I say write down a list of the things that you love about yourself the most. 10. I challenge everybody to find 10.
Do you know how difficult that is for some people to find 10 qualities? But but that's good. You need to make sure that they do. So you're asking people, Lisa, to be self-reflective and to look inside and to look not at the stuff that we don't like. And we can have, that list could be 10, 20, 30, 50,
that's
right?
the problem. That's what I see as a major problem today, is that we're all so quick to say, if I lose 10 pounds, I'll be happy. And when I do this, I'll be that. Just embrace who you are today. Wake up, look in the mirror, and tell yourself, I am beautiful. I am special. Find out what makes you you, and live it. And tell yourself this every day.
Right. And no matter what, like you're saying, it's not about what's going to happen next year or where you want to be, that ideal image of yourself that you may never really get to. It's about loving yourself no matter what, with the flaws, with the stuff that you don't like.
That's
so
right.
Give us one other way. And yes, we have to make a list and look at what we like about ourselves, and that can be hard. And so what's after that?
Well, I say this. I tell people to start treating yourself like your own best friend. So if you wouldn't say it to your best friend, why would you say it to you, right?
Or to your kid.
Or to your kids, or anybody.
Right.
So before you can really have a relationship with anybody, you have to have a real, honest, healthy relationship with yourself.
That is so key, because oftentimes we have relationships with everybody else that we think are so important, but we neglect us. And I love to say, great job, and I do that. And sometimes when people are around, or sometimes when nobody's around, just because you need to reinforce the positive.
Well, that's actually, if I could just add, that's actually how this whole bouncing back thing happened for me, because I teach at Temple University as an
Right.
adjunct professor.
And you have a TV show
And I have
there.
a TV show there, Bouncing Back with Lisa Bien at Temple TV.
And I'm going to be on it.
I know, I'm very excited. So what I noticed through the 10 years that I was an adjunct there is that my students just really needed somebody to pat them on the back and say, you got this, believe in yourself. And then I realized that sometimes nobody really tells us to believe in ourselves. They teach us math, they teach us reading, but who really teaches us how to love ourselves, right? And believe in ourselves. So I tell everybody, believe in yourself and the rest of your life will actually fall into place.
Life happens, bounce back, and you've got to start with you and believe in yourself no matter what,
Yep.
no matter what's going on.
Yes, that's
Thank
exactly
you,
right.
Lisa
Thank
Bien.
you.
You're wonderful.
Thank you.
Power Your Life will be right back. Ahead, find out what's hot for next week. Now it's time to turn it over to our parenting expert, Mama Deb, with some great advice to keep your kids healthy this season.
Hey everybody, Mama Deb here with another quick laser tip for you. This one's a twofer because you know I'm really big on helping you make the most of the time you already spend with your kids without having to find the extra time or spend a dime. So here's something we all have to do several times a day, wash our hands, especially now. You know, the CDC says start to finish on the lather process. First we've got to wet them, we got to get the soap on them, we got to lather up, and then we have to dry them off with a clean dry towel. So that lather process, 20 seconds. How do you know it's 20 seconds? Here's what you're going to do. You're going to have your kids practice their ABCs while they're lathering, because from start to finish, from the letter A all the way to the close where we sing, now I know my ABCs, next time won't you sing with me? That is a full 20 seconds. That's good hygiene and it's good practice. And you can walk away knowing you made good time of the time you already had with your kiddo. Take care. I'll see you next time with another quick laser tip.
Thank you, Mama Deb. Before we go, I'd like to leave you with my PowerPoints for the week. The world we live in is filled with many different kinds of people, diverse religions, different languages, and different preferences, customs, and ways of being. Imagine how boring life would be if all was just vanilla-coated. To live compatibly in a world of diversity, both acceptance and tolerance need to be present. After all, isn't that what we all want for us, for our children, and for our families? Wishing you a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, and a Happy Kwanzaa. No matter what tradition or religion you have or what you celebrate, make this holiday a time to celebrate the little victories that you made this past year. No matter how large or small, remind yourself of something that you did that made you feel proud of you. Maybe it was succeeding at a new job or learning a new skill or feeling good about how you handled a situation or cared for a loved one. Instead of writing down New Year's resolutions that often fail, make a list of your 2014 power surges, those moments when you felt powerful, and bring in the new year with memories of these feats and remind yourself there's more to come. Thanks for being with us today. Next time, she won the hearts of millions as the stranded castaway, Marianne from Gilligan's Island. Actress Dawn Wells joins us to talk about her new book and what life has been like off the island.